Hello and welcome back to the channel and to Inside Out Health Club. You're back here with Adam and I have a new helper with me.
Hi, my name's Jasmine.
I managed to rope Jazmin into helping me because Paige is busy. Today we're going to take you through the machine-based workout, aren't we?
Yes.
What's the point of machines?
Oh, it threw me under the bus there.
So, a couple of days ago, we can hear Paige giggling. A couple of days ago, we sent out a email to you and a video to you and a workout to you that was all like bar and dumbbell based. And now we're gonna just take it back to machines. Machines are a little bit safer for people if you're not comfortable lifting barbells and dumbbells yet. And it helps control your range of motion, and it will just make you maybe feel a little bit easier if you're a tiny bit anxious about trying to lift weights. That is the purpose of machines.
That is the purpose of machines.
Anything else you'd like to add?
It's also good because they'll have instructions on a lot of the machines as well. So if you do forget how to do it, you can follow the easy instructions, and it's just safer to start with.
Perfect. So we're going to take you through a nice workout to do today. We'll talk you through how to use each machine, how to set it up, and the best things for you in that regard. And I think that's about it.
That is.
Let's go. So the first exercise we're going to put you through in this machine-based workout is we're going to start with the legs, and we're going to put you onto the leg press machine. Now we have two leg press machines in the gym. We have a pink one just here, which Jazmin's on, and right next to me here, we have a big bulky one, which we will show you how to use as well. Now, key things that you need to remember with all the machines that we're going to take you through today is make sure before you get on it, you set a weight that you know is right for you and that you feel is comfortable for you to be able to lift. Now, you might start slow, you might get it wrong to begin with, and that's okay. You might undercook it or overcook it. Just be careful if you think you might have overcooked it. But you can always just try a few reps and then reset. But make sure that you don't jump on the machine, forget to check the weight, and try and take on a weight that somebody else was using beforehand. So just make sure you do that with all of the machines we start with today. Then on the leg press, as we are today, let's get the setup right first. So just jump off for me a sec, Jazmin. She's very eager. So you can see we've got the seat here, and what we're gonna do is initially we're gonna set up. I'm gonna ask you to get your bum right into the bottom part of the seat, and then you're gonna have to get your feet on the plate, which is in front of me, and I'll show you the foot position in a minute. So Jazmin, if you get yourself right up against the seat for me, perfect. Hey, she sat down well. Excellent. And now if we just look at the leg position, so we can see those there. Now what I always ask for when we do this, is I always ask for right angles in the ankles here, and right angles in the knees here, and the hips, okay? So you want to be working at 90 degrees, especially in those knees. So if you need to readjust the leg press machine at all, because you're not at those angles, then what we need to do is there's a little contraption on this side, which you can lift up, which brings the seat further in and further away. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, if we lift this up here, the seat, just push the seat away from me, Jazmin. Lovely. Then you can set it so that it's further away. Now, Jazmin, if you get back on the bench, on the seat, there you go. You can see that she's not quite at the right angle. She's too far away. We've lost that 90-degree angle in the knee. So now we've set it back to where it was for her, which is great. Now, if we look at her foot position, you can see that she is completely parallel, which is a great start. Her toes are pointing up, and her ankles and her knees are all in line with her hips. That is the angle that you want to be doing this exercise with. You don't want them to be too close, and you don't want them to be too far apart. You want to be in straight lines, because when you're at full extension, i.e. when you've pushed away, you want to make sure that you're stacking your joints. Your ankles, your knees, and your hips are all in alignment. And now Jazmin is just going to do a set for us. Lovely. What are you thinking about as you do this, Jazmin?
To not lock my knees.
Excellent answer. That's exactly what I was after. And we didn't rehearse this. So when you're doing the leg press, one of the really important things to do is to make sure that when you're at full extension, you're not locking your knees out, because you don't want the pressure of the weight going against your knees, and that'll bend your knees down like this. You want to keep your knees ever so slightly soft. And the other thing you'll notice is that she is not slamming the stack down. So you just come down and just make a noise with the stack for me, like this. There you go. You want to try and avoid that noise when you're doing the leg press. You want to keep the stack engaged the whole time, so it might mean you don't always come all the way in for a full range of motion, but that's better than you constantly smacking the weight against the machine. Anything else to add?
No, I just make sure my chest is upright as well, so then I'm always against the pad, and I probably just drive a little bit through my heels to make sure.
Very good points of advice. And to help with keeping the chest up, there are little handles here on the machine as well, which you can indeed use. Excellent, and that's the leg press.
And that's the leg press.
As I mentioned in the last leg press video, we have 2 leg presses here, and each to their own. This one is higher stack, and it might force you into a bigger range of motion. Also, this machine weighs an awful lot more, so you'll probably need less weight on it to begin with, because the machine itself weighs more as it's coming down onto you. Now, to add weight to the machine, as Jazmin is demonstrating, she's gone and got a disc plate, and then all you do is you put that on the side, on the handles, and then, because Jazmin's a wonderful little helper, she's going to sit herself right down into the bench. So here we are set up with the bench. As you can see, her body is at a stranger, like a less, upright angle. On this machine now, you can't change the distance between the seat and the, what's this thing called?
The press.
The press? Is that what you'd call it?
We're going to call it the press.
We're going to call it the press. We're going with the press.
We're going to call
and this thing. Okay, some of them that you might be in other gyms, you can change that distance, but on here you can't. It's one set distance. So that will mean that you might need to be careful when engaging it to begin with. Now to engage it, there's levers just down here by my side. So you need to push away as Jazmin just did, and then grab the lever and flick it up. And that will rotate the stoppers away. And now you're in charge of the machine, and there's nothing stopping the machine from coming all the way down or going all the way up. Now to do one of these, a rep on this, you just softly bend the knees. Excellent. Come into here and away. Now what we're looking for when she does this is we're looking for a direct angle here across her hips and her knees. So bring it in. So once you get to there, that's perfect, Jazmin. You've done a full rep, and then you're free to push away again. And again, she's putting weight through her heels, not through her toes, and she's making sure that she doesn't fully extend through the knees. Anything else to add?
You also got your little handles here to help drive through.
Fantastic. And a big thing with this, because obviously this will probably lend itself to adding more weight to it, I would say make sure you engage your breath as you push away. So big breath in, allow the weight to come down, and then breathe out, squeeze the abs as you push the weight back out to extension. And it works exactly the same muscles as this machine. Behind me, the pink leg press. It's just a different way other people might like. And then to finish, just flick the handles back in, put the stoppers in place, and then you're free to get up and out of the machine.
Which is a bit difficult.
It is. It's not the most ergonomic machine like that. And that's the unergonomic leg press. Welcome back. So the next, I can't think today. My brain is awful.
Exercise for you today.
The next exercise we would like you to do in this workout is known as the machine chest press. So this is working the pectoral muscles and the arm muscles a little bit as you're going to push away. Now, like with all the machines, make sure before you get onto the machine, what are we going to check, Jazmin?
Your resistance.
She's doing good. Don't tell Paige I said this, but you might be a bit better than. I'm joking. Yes, so check your resistance. So that means choose a weight that is comfortable for you, which Jazmin has wonderfully done. Now the setup on here is I'd like to see your feet nice and flat on the floor if possible. If you can't do that, just jump up for me a sec, Jazmin. We have a seat here that comes up and comes down. It's just got a little handle under it. It says pull on it, pull it towards yourself, and then set a height that works for you where you'll be able to get your feet flat on the floor. Thanks, Jazmin. And then you're going to address the handles. So we're going to go with an overhand grip, like so. And now something you'll see on here, what a lot of people do is they'll do it with their elbows up nice and high. We don't want that because then that's going to put all the pressure into the shoulder. Where do you want the elbows? Perfect.
Where they are?
Just down here, where she's already set them. Just down here like so. So you want to look for kind of like a 60 to 45 degree angle in the armpit. I always say imagine that you're forming an arrow between your elbows and your head. Then once you're set, you'll see Jazmin has got a nice wide seated position through her feet and through her hips. That means that she's going to be engaging her glutes, which is fantastic. And then you're just going to squeeze the chest and allow the arms to follow, as Jazmin has demonstrated so excellently. Now, similar to the leg press machine, we don't want to hear the stacks slamming. We want to make sure that we're constantly working with control and tension as we do this. And then all you do is push away, squeeze the abs as you push away. You might want to breathe out as you push away. And that's going to be the machine chest press. And we're looking to feel it through the shoulders here, but mainly the chest right here as well. Anything to add, Superstar?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent.
Just make sure your shoulders are down so then you're not kind of overusing that. And then just, make sure your chest is up and your shoulders are down, and then just push through.
Perfect explanation of what to do. Fantastic. Right, what's next? Do you know what's next? No, me neither. We'll figure it out in a minute. So don't worry, we managed to find out what is next, and it is the lat pull-down machine. Now this is predominantly a back exercise, a back and arm exercise, and we're looking to work all the way through the back, from the upper back into the lower back, especially these latissimus dorsis, which are these big fan muscles at the bottom of your back. Now, as always, because we're using a machine and we don't know who was on it before, the first thing we do when we come to a machine is...
check the resistance.
We're starting the little rapport thing here. Check the resistance. You want to make sure when you're doing this that we have a long bar attached. Just pull the bar down for me so it comes into shot. Lovely. Like so, a long bar there. And then the hand position for this is exactly where Jazmin's got it, which is right on the edge. Let me show you that with a different angle. It's just there. That's where you want to be for this exercise. That's it. Again, you want to make sure your feet are flat on the floor and your knees should be tucked under the braces that are just here. Now, she's going to lean back ever so slightly here from her hips, keeping her spine as neutral as possible. Lean back just a tiny bit more, I'd say. Excellent. And then what she's going to do is she's going to drive the elbows out nice and wide and down, just to literally kind of like where our microphones are, where your clavicles are. That's where you want to pull it down to. And then as you pull it down, you're going to give a nice squeeze into the back at the bottom and then release up again like so. All right, well done, Jazz. Excellent. When I do this, I always say to clients, think about your angel wings. So when you're here, you want to send the elbows out on a nice semicircle as you're gripping that bar. And imagine you've just got big angel wings that are coming out and they're trying to fly. And that kind of gives you that image and how you're meant to be splitting your back. Anything to add?
I don't this time.
And that's the lat pull down. Next up, we're asking you to do the seated row, which again is a back exercise. What part of the back is it working, Jazz? Specifically the lower back, and it will work your triceps a little bit as you pull back. And again, the upper back a little bit as you pull in the shoulder blades together to make the action work. Now, these are really low down, hence I look like I'm on the floor, I pretty much am. These are the seated row machines. We have other upright seated row machines that you can use, also known as cable row machines, but we wanted to show you how these ones work today because they're a bit more, they're more unique. I've never seen ones like this before in any gym in the world that I've worked in. So, as you can see, we have foot plates here that Jazmin's putting her feet on. Now, I always say it doesn't matter too much where your feet are. You can either have them completely on the plate like so. You can split it between the floor and the plate, like that as well, or you can just have your toes on the plate as well. Whatever's most comfortable for you, whatever is most comfortable for you, Jazmin, set up like that. Now, when, again, we're at a machine, so the most important thing to do before you start doing anything is, Jazmin?
Resistance, check it.
And so she's done that. We've checked the resistance is appropriate for her. She's not going to hurt herself doing this demonstration for you. Now, the one thing with these is, if you're like me and very long-legged, then leaning forward to grab the weight, if you have quite a heavy weight on these, can potentially be dangerous for your back. I've hurt myself doing this on other seated row machines, not on these ones. And so you need to be very, very careful when starting the exercise. You see a lot of people just collapsing, bending forward, reaching forward with disengaged form, and that could potentially lead to problems. So once you're set up, you're going to set your shoulder blades back and down before you've even engaged the weight. Excellent.
Sorry.
That's it, and make sure your chest is facing. Then what you're going to do with a neutral spine, you're going to bend at the hips. You're not going to curve the spine, exactly like Jazmin. As you can see there, you can see that her spine is nice and straight, nice and neutral. That's what she's doing there. That's just Narissa walking off and laughing. Nice and neutral, and then she knows that she's going to be picking up the weight in the safest manner possible. Now, what she's going to do is she's going to squeeze the shoulder blades first and allow the arms to follow, which is then going to make the arms come back and is going to start the pulling action on the weight. As you can see, she's not going back too far, because if you go back too far, just go back too far for me, Jazmin. Excellent. The shoulder, this part of the shoulder starts to rotate inwards, and then it's going to put pressure on the shoulder. That's not going to put pressure on the back, and we're not going to be doing the lift with the back, which is what we want. Another key thing with this, which I didn't mention in the lat pull down, is you want to imagine you've got oranges in your armpits and you're trying to squeeze orange juice out of them. And that will really help you learn to engage the lower back and the mid back as you do this exercise. Excellent. She's keeping her core nice and strong, which is awesome because that stops her from swinging. Could you do a swingy one? Like this. Lovely. That form is something you might have seen in the gym, and it is something that I would suggest we move away from. You want to stay nice and neutral. You just want the arms to do the work, so then the back can do the work, and you're not working through momentum as you do this. You'll see her knees are slightly bent as well, which just helps with stability. Make sure that her glutes are switched on as well. And that's about it, I think. Is there anything else you can imagine?
No.
Imagine? You want to add?
Imagine? No.
Excellent.
Perfectly said.
And that's the seated row. We're now going to do what's called a close grip pull down. So basically you're on the same machine that you were on for the lat pull down. Because it's a machine, what are we doing first?
Checking the resistance.
Excellent. Don't roll your eyes, it's important. Repetitive messaging is important in fitness. Okay, great. So now, as opposed to going wide and overhand, we're going to come under and with a closer grip. You want your arms to be shoulder width apart, and you're just going to face the palms to yourself. Once you've engaged the bar like that, then try and sit down in one go. That's it, and then you'll know that you're moving the weight comfortably and safely. And then all you're going to do is pull it down to exactly the same point you did on the lat pull down. Kind of like the clavicle where our microphones are, the upper chest just here, and that's what you want to do. And as you're doing that, you want to engage the back. You want to try and squeeze the back together, and it looks something like this. Lovely, Jazz. Good. This is the starts of being able to do a pull-up, a chin-up, and it's the starts of really being able to build your back strength as you go. And it works a lot of the arms and a lot in your grip as well. You'll notice if you get the weight quite high on this, your forearms will really start to burn as you do this, which will aid you in when you start lifting dumbbells, when you start gripping barbells and things like that. Anything else to add, Jazmin? Excellent. We're down at the other end of the gym now, and we're going to take you through the seated leg extension machine, which is great for the thighs or the quadriceps. Now, there's lots of moving parts on this to begin with the setup, but we're at a machine, so the first thing we do is...
check the resistance.
Hey, she didn't
Without the
smoke
eye
that time. Excellent, good work. So check the resistance, and once you're set there, there's a few things we need to get right with this in terms of just the seating to make sure that you're going to get the most out of being able to do it. So the first things first is at the back of the seat, there is a little pull handle here. And if we pull that, just be careful, Jazmin, you'll see that we can move further away or further in on the seat. Now that's important because that will dictate whereabouts your knees sit in line with this little circle here. Now what you want is you want to imagine there is a straight line, like a rod going from this little circular thing here, all the way through the center point of your knees and finishing here. And that's how you know whether you've got the right position for your back or not. I'd actually say you might be a little too far forward on this at the moment. So we need to take it back a little bit. Does that feel better? Yeah, you're more in line with that, aren't you now? Perfect. Yep. Then the next thing, you'll see there's a little circular thing here that we can pull that says 1, 2, 3, and 4 on it. Now, the purpose of that determines, it's quite hard to move, pull. There we go. Muscles. Now, the purpose of that, it changes where the leg roll will be. Now, the place upon which you want it is right across this part of the heel, the foot. You want it kind of on the laces as best as possible. So we need to bring it up a little bit for Jazz. Now, once you've done all of that, like setting up an IKEA flat pack, you're then going to, as Jazz has, engage the handles just to root the arms, and that will help you keep your chest up, keep your shoulder blades back and down, and get yourself ready to engage for the exercise. Then all you're going to do is take a big deep breath in and extend from the knee till it comes up like so. And you're going to go, this time you can lock your knees out to a degree. You want to get a nice straight line between your ankle and your hip, and that will extend the thigh, and you'll feel the thigh really pulling in order to make that action happen. Anything else you'd like to add? No? That is the seated leg extension. Now this is right next to, or it's not quite right next to, but it's in the same line as the machine chest press, the one you was using earlier. Again, similar to the machine chest press, the seat, just jump up for me. The seat moves up and down, so you can create enough space for you. I think you could probably do it being quite high, Jazmin, because we're going up above the head, so you might need it to be higher than lower. You want to start with your hands right in line with your shoulders here, as Jazmin is perfectly well. And you also want to try and create the balance between that and being able to get your feet flat on the floor. Then, as we're on a machine, what do we always have to do?
Checking the resistance.
Check the weight, check that you're on a weight that's comfortable for you, you're not going to hurt yourself. And then all we're going to do is push into the floor with the feet as we push up on the machine above our head like so. Good. And again, as we're on a machine, you don't want the weight clicking into the stack. You want to make sure it's constantly under control and that you're doing it seamlessly and noiselessly. Is that a word, noiselessly?
It is now.
It is now. Perfect. Good. Anything to add?
Nope.
No? Excellent. You'll find with this, actually, what I find with this machine, just jump up for me a sec. I might as well do some exercise today. What I find with this machine is, as you do it, it feels like it's taking your arms slightly away when you do the shoulder press. Now, whenever we use barbells and dumbbells, I'm always looking for my clients to get their wrists, elbows, and shoulders all in a straight line. Whereas this machine actually kind of moves you away at an angle from that position. So you might actually find this a little bit harder, or you might actually find this feels a little bit different to when you do it just with dumbbells or with barbells. That's okay, it's not right or wrong, but if you're doing it and it feels a little bit harder for some reason, or it feels a little bit abnormal to what you're used to, if you do normally do it with dumbbells and barbells, that'll be why. It's because the machine is taking you at an away angle as opposed to a completely vertical angle. So we have one more exercise for you in this workout, and then we're done. The last exercise is the leg curl machine. We better get this done quickly because Jazmin's about to fall asleep. Right.
I am, it's cold.
This is a hamstring exercise, so it works the upper back of the leg and a little bit on the glutes. Yeah, that's it really. Now, it's similar to the leg extension in that there's a roll at the back, which you can see just here, and you want to make sure that's right on your heels, like this part of your heel. Yeah, you don't want it right on the end of the foot. You want it kind of like almost above the heel, kind of on your Achilles almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the kind of leg runs into the top of the heel. Excellent. Then all we're going to do, again, what do we do when we're on a machine?
Checking the resistance.
And you also want to check that the distance at the back is correct for you. As you can see here, Jazmin has got it in the right position for her legs. Now, if it's not in the right position for her legs, up here is a pulley thing that you pull out again, and it will change the angle of this leg roll. Again, just play around with that, and you'll be able to figure out exactly where the right position for your body is as you do this, because every body is different and every body is different. That's one of my catchphrases. Do you like it?
Catchy.
Thank you. Excellent. So now what we're going to do, big deep breath in, and you just lift the bar towards your bum, basically. And as you do that, you're going to pull through your hamstrings and squeeze those to allow the motion to happen. Similar to chest press, where I say squeeze the chest and allow the arms to follow. Here you're going to squeeze the hamstring and allow the heels and the feet to follow. Good. Now, one thing you'll notice with people who do this is they might raise up a lot through the hips. The hips might come up, and then when that happens is like so, thank you, Jazmin, is we're going to be taking the pressure into the lower back, which is obviously something that I would suggest is best avoided. It would be far, far better for us to make sure that you are not doing that. And so just be conscious of that for me. Just think, hang on, my hips are coming up, my hips are constantly coming up. Just try and reset them, push them down into the bench, and just try and focus on pulling the hamstring. Don't try and focus on pulling with the back. Anything to add?
No.
One thing we didn't mention is there's two little handles here at the front as well, which you can grab just to help you build that tension as you do the exercise and to help you do the exercise with control. Excellent,
Perfect.
I think that's it.
Done and dusted.
And that is your first machine-based workout. I say first because we're going to get another one out to you very, very soon. We have written it, haven't we?
We've written it, it's ready, we just got to film it.
And they're both going to be full body workouts. Now, using the machines is perfectly acceptable and wonderful, and there's a great purpose for them. Sometimes in the fitness industry, you get a lot of people dissing on machines, let's say, and they think that really you should only be using barbells and dumbbells. The truth is, like with everything, it's your fitness, it's your body, it's your space. You explore in the way that you feel most comfortable. The role of this workout is to make sure that you can get around the gym, you can feel comfortable, feel like you're getting the most out of being here, and still get a good workout in. That's why we wrote it, that's why we designed it. Now, it would be a full body workout, or it is a full body workout, so I'd suggest doing it twice a week, maybe 3 times a week if possible, if this is the only one you're going to do. Other than that, if you're going to balance this off with the other one, then maybe do 2 a week. That would work really well as well. Anything to add?
No, not really. Just remember that there's always instructions on the machine, so if you don't want to rewatch the video while you're here, you can just read it. If we are here, you can always ask us questions. And if you do the workout and you film it and post it, make sure you tag us, and we would love to see it.
Absolutely. And yeah, like always, if you ever need any help with anything, you can find Jazmin, myself, or Paige anywhere in the gym. As long as we're here, we'll be more than happy to help you. Have a great day. Thanks for being here, and we'll speak to you real soon. Ciao, ciao.